Let's unpack now the developments in the MK party pertaining to Duduzile Sambudla Zuma with political analyst Dr. Fikile Vilakazi. Dr. Vilakazi, good evening. Thank you so much for your time. Really do appreciate it. It is quite extraordinary when a political party is being accused of, or at least a member of a political party is being accused of having recruited members or just civilians into a foreign war, and for the party to distance themselves from that member, and for that member to later then resign and step down from all party structures. Is this a sign of a level of organizational coherence in the MK party, or perhaps disarray on part of the party, that it has to distance itself from it and then later have this member resign and step away from party functions?
Good evening, Oliver, and to South Africans and viewers at home. My reading of the situation, I have been following Umkhonto weSizwe very, very closely. I think it is a signal of a party that is in disarray. One of the concerns, Oliver, that I have been observing is that of the role of the family, in Umkhonto weSizwe, particularly in the body of Duduzile. It's been a worrying trend, since the formation of Umkhonto weSizwe, since the July unrest, that have happened in KZN, and his role really with the Secretary General of the party. And we've seen her really getting involved in a number of what you would consider, actions that could easily constitute code of conduct, and her proximity to the president of the party, who is her father. This particular instance now of having more than 17 young men assigned to the war in Russia, some of whom, as we have seen in the affidavits, are members of the family, something that is worrying. So for me, this is a pattern that is actually signaling for us that the role of the family is dangerous for Umkhonto weSizwe, as a party. And the fact that she has resigned, I don't think it's something that necessarily should show a party that is cohesing itself. I think it's really showing a party that is falling apart, for lack of a better word, simply and directly because of the role of the family and the impact of the politics of the family within Umkhonto weSizwe. And family rule is quite a dangerous concept in politics generally. If you look at the trends internationally, you just have to look closer to Syria, how family rule can be dangerous in terms of leading a political system. And I think Umkhonto weSizwe's situation in the home of Duduzile is just really a maturity of that danger of family politics.
Is it at all possible to separate the MK party as an organization from the Zuma family at all?
They are contesting. I think if you listen to the national chairperson as he was reading the statement, I think they are contesting that there is a clear separation between the family and the political party called Umkhonto weSizwe. But South Africans can see, I don't think that separation is clear. Duduzile has been one of the people that has stood very, very firm, close to his father, in terms of the political world. And she has been very influential in a number of things that have happened, and I think she's doing it because she's defending her dad. She's defending her father. So there's a blurring line between then who she is in the body politic called Umkhonto weSizwe and who she is in the life of her father. And for me, that line is really not very clear. And this particular experience of taking her brothers or her siblings or family members to Russia to, as we have read in the affidavits, I think the idea was for them to go and be bodyguards and come back and be bodyguards of Umkhonto weSizwe. Again, why would you want to take a family member to come and be bodyguards of a political party? So those lines are not clear, and it's problematic, I think, in any political system. Obviously, it was bound to arrive at this place, and I think it's now bursting and collapsing and opening itself up, unfortunately.
Yeah. Should they be found guilty of any sort of impropriety, that is to say either Duduzile Zuma or any of the other people mentioned to this, which seem to invariably have close ties to the MK party, what does that say about the credibility of the party? And I'm asking a speculative question here because no one has been found guilty of anything just yet.
Look, it depends on how Umkhonto weSizwe wants to position itself politically within South Africa and the level of honesty that they are willing to share with the voter and the citizen. I think they are denying something that is very, very obvious in the eyes of South Africans, the fact that they are involved and they're implicated in this particular case, or they could be found to be implicated because of the fact that the 17 young men went to Russia with an idea that they're training to be bodyguards to come and protect and defend the MK party, something that they're denying. But I think Duduzile Zuma's affidavit seems to be telling us that that is actually what had happened. That is what she thought was going to be the case, only to discover later that she may have been a victim of some lie from Ukoza. So yeah, I think they are likely to be implicated.
So if Duduzile Zuma is correct in this instance, that she had been operating under the understanding that these people were being taken to Russia for security training so that they can become personal protectors of MK party leaders, if that is a true story, do you find it unusual that a political party would have to train their security guards, bodyguards, and personal protectors in a foreign country?
I am not surprised if you look at the relationship between South Africa and Russia, number one, and I think you look at the political history of former President Jacob Zuma and Duduzile. It's not the first time that they have been seen visiting Russia. South Africa has got a very particular soft spot because Russia assisted us when we were fighting the liberation struggle. Russia has trained a lot of the liberation fighters of Umkhonto weSizwe. The Umkhonto weSizwe back then that was fighting to free us from apartheid. So I think that the reclaiming of Umkhonto weSizwe now, as we see it in the hands of former President Jacob Zuma, seems to want to maintain that image of itself, that we have this relationship with Russia. So Duduzile, I think, was lured into that particular relationship, whether it is a true relationship or false or not. So I'm not surprised, personally, and I don't think South Africans are surprised that Russia is involved in these ways because of that history.
Yeah, we're going to have to leave it there. Dr. Vilakazi, thank you so much for your time and your insights. Always a pleasure speaking to you.